So I'm going to go ahead and create a file, and I'm going to go ahead and put some shapes in it. I'm going to put a photo in it. I'm going to put some text in it. So just put a couple random shapes, some colors, doesn't really matter. Or open up a document that you already have. But we need to start with a document. If we have a particular document, and I'm recording this so you have access to it later, put some text on the screen. This is the best class ever with the best students ever. Even Jacob.
Yay! Yes. Yay!
Yes. So, put some text on the screen, whatever you want in there. So we're using my typing is horrible. You were watching me type, I suppose. That's what it was. Oh, caps lock is on. Ever with little OCD there on my. All right. So better spell Jacob all capital because he's that important. So we've got our text. We've got some files. I'm going to go ahead and. How do we place in a picture? A couple different ways of bringing a picture in.
You can drag it in from folders.
Drag it in from the folder? Not for picture.
Oh, not for picture. Okay.
Oh, so you can drag it in and just drag it in.
From the library?
You can bring it from the library by what's the command when you bring it in from your library? Or not technically a library, but it's brought in. You place it in. You can also copy paste. If you find an image on a website, you copy that and just paste it in, and it comes in. It's not going to have as high quality typically. It's not embedded, but doing the place option is the ideal way. But you could drag it in. You can do a copy paste in, put it in there. So I go to File and Place. Go ahead and find an image, bring it in. Go ahead and bring in. That sounds exciting. You can bring in all kinds of images: Photoshop files, JPEGs, PNGs. It's very compatible, thanks to Adobe's prowess of their ability. If I click and drag it, we'll keep it proportionate at this stage. It shows you a box, you let it go, it fits it in. There's Abraham. Fix it in. It fits it in. Once I've got a picture in there, let me go ahead and switch over to the Essentials. I think I'm in the Classics. On the Essentials, so you're kind of seeing the same idea. I'm going to go to my Properties. I have my picture selected still. This image is not actually in or embedded into the Illustrator file at this point. It's in the document, but remember, instead of being embedded, how is this image being brought into my file, into my Illustrator file? Should have done a Kahoot on that.
As a normal.
It's pixel based, so it can only be finite. It's finite in how big it can get without looking nasty. It is raster. But the image is not technically in the document. So if you were to send me your Illustrator file at this moment, I would not see the high resolution file. It would only give me a small preview file. Because that term it's linked to where it is. So it is on my desktop, my documents, wherever my photo is, it's linking to it. So if I delete that photo or move that photo, it will only keep a very small, low quality resolution in this file. It's not going to have even printable or screen version quality. It's just a little small resolution file because it's not embedded into the file. If I want to have my photo embedded, I have it selected, like I just placed it in. You go over to your Properties, and we go into Embed. Once it's embedded, the photo is now part of this document. So if I go delete it on my thumb drive, on my documents, my pictures, my desktop, wherever it's at, it will still be in here at its highest quality that it came in as. So it's not dependent. Now I think, why not just always part of the document? Well, there are some reasons for that. If it's not part of the document, if it's image and you have a large file, let's say 5 megabytes or 10 megabytes as a file, your Illustrator file is now that much larger. So we'll add to your size, which makes sometimes emailing an Illustrator document or sharing them a little bit harder. It's there. And also, having it embedded hurts some of the collaborative uses of Adobe. So if you're working with a group where, say, Sarah is editing pictures and someone else is kind of doing the Illustrator work, if she edits the pictures, it could automatically update to my Illustrator document. So you can work collaboratively. People are editing, making changes to photos. It's automatically changing to my document because there's a linked collaborative aspect. So there are some advantages to being linked, for sure. But when we have an image in here, we want to see it. So you're submitting for an assignment. There's been some times I look at the low resolution. That's fine because I know you had a higher resolution. That's what it is. But it's not going to be highest quality. So I'm going to want to package that, and I'll get to that in just a little bit. How we want to package this to make sure I get this file when you're finally done. So for your final project, if you're going to send this to a printer, send it to your teacher for a grade, or just picking some example, it's helpful to package your file, and you're going to need to package your files for the final project. Now, if I go up to Window, I'm going to go ahead and look at my links category. I go up to Window. I don't have my links open. Links, not the like winter cat, that like a bobcat, different kind of links. Pull up my links tab. And well, here's my links tab. It shows me this photograph. If I bring in other photographs, so let me just add another photograph real fast. It will bring in, let's do, I don't know what this picture is. Okay, another picture. It's a picture of my family. Now it shows me multiple links. As a reminder, I'm going to go ahead and pull up a quick Unsplash image. Trees. Trees are nice. Copy this picture of trees. And I'm going to go ahead and paste it into Illustrator. When I paste it in, it doesn't come up with some of the same information. It's there, it's linkable, but it comes in a little different. It's now embedded into my file, but it's not as changeable, which is an interesting concept. So I have my files in here. If I click my file, move this off to the side so I can have it well laid out, and I click the little triangle which says Show Link Info in my Links tab, it will show me a lot of different information. It'll show you like the color space, it'll show you what type of file it is, a JPEG, a PNG, a Photoshop file, whatever. It's in there. It will also show me where that file is located. It'll also, and this is the key that you want to take away, is when you get into printing stages, a PPI. What does PPI stand for? Pixel per inch. So how many pixels are in every square inch? Right now it's 100, well, according to this image right now, it's at 1,219. That's pretty good. If I was to print this, it would look excellent. The ideal gold standard is to have 300 PPI, 300 pixels per inch for a print. Screen, you can go 72. Now screen days, some days you're looking like 96 DPI. So we can have a lot less resolution with a screen. It still looks just fine. Print needs the more definition, the more pixels. As I increase my file size, I can do that. Notice it will start to change your PPI. So as the file gets larger, that PPI is going to get smaller because now you're stretching the picture. And now I'm like in 270, my 441 is still pretty good. I can still print it pretty fine. But also, if you start to enlarge or stretch a picture or even shrink a picture, notice by default I'm not holding any keys on the keyboard. You can skew it. That's not good. It makes people look fat. Bad idea. Or really, really tall and awkwardly skinny. What is the way to keep that from happening? There's a shortcut or a keyboard shortcut you can push so it doesn't skew it in proportion. Hold Shift. And hold Shift, it will keep it proportionate. No matter what I do, it will lock it in that particular size. So if I have an image, so the size, I hold Shift and then I drag, it will keep it proportionate. Shout out to Adobe. They changed that with Photoshop, which was stupid in my opinion. So in Photoshop, it's different. By default, it's locked. If you hold Shift, it does it. All the other Adobe software, you have to hold Shift to keep it consistent, except for Adobe. Just keep it consistent, Adobe, in case they're listening. So hold Shift. It will make it bigger or smaller. You can know, according to the link stat, how large or how high quality. Like this image here, I'm looking at 141 PPI. Not great for print. I could print it. It just won't look quite as crisp and sharp. If I was dealing with like a professional company for a magazine cover, they want to print your whatever magazine you're working on, they wouldn't want it to be that low resolution. You want a higher resolution. So we always want to find the highest resolution. We've talked about that with Unsplash or other places. Get the highest quality, not the smaller itty-bitty Google search image. But as I stretch it out, I will lose some of that resolution. This image here, I copied and pasted. I had the low resolution. I'm looking already 72 dpi. It's pretty small. As I stretch it out, I'm starting to get to the very sketch. Even for a screen, we're looking 46 dpi. This looks terrible because there isn't the resolution because I used the small version. The PPI is a small amount. So the links is helpful to know. You can also, when you're in links, you can right-click and you can also go in your settings here, not right-click, but go to the settings here and you can do some different things. Like you can go ahead and edit the original. You can open it up in Photoshop that way if you want to do Photoshop updates. You can update the link. If you want to change this from a low resolution version, you can update and you can go find a high resolution. And it'll just change the file to a higher version if you have it somewhere else on the computer. You can do all these different things. Relink them if it's a broken link. Find it from different sources and stock images from the CC library. And once you've got your picture selected, if it's embedded, you can always go to your properties and embed it or unembed it, depending on which one you want, based on how you're working. If it's embedded, that's great. your Illustrator file will be fairly large, but it's fine. For class, regardless for your final project, regardless if you have them embedded or unembedded, I want you to package it. So we're going to talk about packaging here. This video will be uploaded so you can reference it later once your final project gets there, because I realize you won't listen to anything I'm saying for the next few minutes because you're overloaded and you'll just freak out when the final project is due in a week and a half. So have this video to reference if you need. So I have my photos in here. I have 3 different photos. I want them to be the highest quality setting. I've got some text on here, and I've got some designs, some vector-based shapes. It's kind of a basic, kind of boring, I'll admit it, piece of work. But, for example, what I need to do to package it? Well, I go to File, and I go, uh-oh. No, I can't package it. If you are working on a file for the first time and you've not saved the file as an Illustrator file, you cannot package the Illustrator file. So if you're working kind of quickly and you've done it for just short, like I did, just started a new project, I have not saved it as an Illustrator file, you cannot create a package file. So first I have to save it somewhere. And I'll go ahead and put it on my downloads or whatever, call it package or whatever I want to call it. Now it's saved as an Illustrator file once I hit my settings of what I want to save it for. Now I can go, give it a second to save. What? Worked that way in my office. I was testing everything out to make sure everything worked. Like, oh, great, good to work. But now, for some reason, okay, it just took a little while to save. It was really slow to save. File, package. You hit package, it'll pop you up a message. Where do you want to put the package? It's going to put everything in its own folder. Whether things are embedded, whether things are linked, it'll put them in its own location. So I hit my little folder button. Tell it where you want to go. It could be on the network location if you'd like to work in your network location, on your thumb drive, on your J drive, wherever. Put it in that particular folder, select the folder, name it what you want. For final project, put your initials in it. Final project, if this is your final project, of course. And then the settings here, by default, they should all be checked. You'll have copy links. That means it's going to take the image wherever it is on your computer, and it's going to copy it and attach it, link it into your document in this location. So I don't have to hack into your computer to find the high quality. I don't know how to do that anyway, but I won't have to. I won't have to elicit David's help to hack in. So that'll be nice. So that. Well, you talk about the Einstein. In yesterday's class, we'll give you that smart Einstein title, so we'll say you have that ability. Whether you do it or not. I don't know. He said something about you have the brains and he had the beauty or something like that. So we're doing different class yesterday. Yeah, it was an interesting class. You should all take lighting portraits. We have lots of fun outside taking pictures and having fun little things. Anyway, packages. Copy the links. You can have them so they put them in a separate folder. So your documents on one side, inside of another folder are the images. You don't have to click that if you don't want. And it will then relink everything to that document. So when you take this file, I will be able to see your high quality original images and information. It will also copy your fonts. This is important because in the past, like for the map assignment and other ones, I had you take your fonts, convert to outlines, which isn't a bad idea if you're sending someone who might not have the font. But in this instance, it will take the font and it'll copy and put it in with the file as well. So if you're using some special font, or even if you're not using a special font, it will now be included with the document, attached or embedded or linked into your document. So if the fonts are there, create a report, you can if you want, a package. It'll pop you up this message. Be very, very careful. You could be violating copyright law by taking someone's font and putting it in your package. Most fonts, not all fonts, most fonts will allow you to put in a package to send it to a professional printer or to some other source for the file. There are a few fonts, a few exceptions to that in the terms and conditions, you can't just even copy the file to send someone else to print the work that you just did. You have the file on the font on your computer. They won't let you send it to someone else. It only stays in that computer. There's some fonts that are very strict in their copyright handling. That's their choice. That's what they do. But it'll give you a message. Okay, yep, fine. Yep. So I'm liable for a font that might be copyrighted or misused. You hit OK. Once it happens now, it's going to sit for a while. It'll give me a little pop-up message. Yep, you want to show it? Sure, I can hit show package, or I can hit OK and just forget about it. But I hit show package. And now it has in here, in my location, here's my package. It's got my documents, my images, it's got my fonts. It's got my Illustrator file, which is actually quite large, 143 megabytes. I can back up a step. My image is here. This is my folder. So for class, for the final project, I can take my final project, and I need to zip it. How do I zip it? Right click,
7-zip.
send to, compress zip. Puts it in a zip folder. And that zip folder then is what you upload to coursework. So then I can see the coursework. You can upload your final project, your PDF to the final project file so everybody can see it and we can make comments and it's not hidden information. But I need to see the packaged, completed final project. Now some of you are doing multiple things. So you might have multiple artboards. So maybe you have it on 3 or 4 artboards and it's still one Illustrator file. If you have it in multiple Illustrator files, you'll need to package each one, put them all in a group folder, and then package the whole group folder. So I don't care how you do it. If you want to have one Illustrator file with multiple artboards, that's fine. If you want to have 3 or 4 different, or 5, or however many you have for your assignment for your final project of choice, that many different Illustrator files, you can package each one, then put all those packages in a group folder, like a parent folder, and then zip that parent folder. Doesn't matter to me. What matters is I get your high quality embedded photos, fonts, and it looks the way you wanted it, intended it for me to see it. Which does matter to you because it does impact your grade. And the final project is weighted more than anything else in this class, so if you get a good grade in your final project, that will more than likely bring up your grade. You know, I had one class, I think it wasn't this class, it was similar design class. I had in that class